What's up, tricksters and tricksetas, and welcome to another Tier 3 sub VOD review presented by favorite coach. Today at our coaching table, we have Chamber, Ascendant 1, playing on Lotus, our friend Joshi HD. So, let's see what our North Americano friend presented to us today, and let's see how he can get better with Chamberoni. VOD review, need takes. DC after killing Clove, momentum shift or nah? DC after killing Clove, we will see about that. Attack lurks felt clean, but was I actually keeping map control or just autopiloting? Okay, we'll see that. Defense felt rough, not taking enough aggro fights or swinging too many bad off angles. Should my trips be deeper, aggressive? We'll talk about it, note it down. 8 first bloods, 5 first deaths. Am I throwing away impact or just pushing the line right? We'll see. We'll see. Like, basically, you know, when you have, for example, you have 8 first bloods and 5 first deaths. Like, your first duels are not that clean. You know, in an average ranked match, usually it is better if you have 3 first bloods and 0 first deaths. I mean, like, basically, for 5 rounds, you did absolutely nothing. For 5 rounds in this match, you were just a spectator in an Ascendant lobby, which is hell of a time. I mean, like, players in Ascendant 1 to Immortal 2, always mentally obstructed, you know, like, you never know what to expect and who are you playing with and against. So dying 5 times first in a match is usually criminal in ranked solo queue. Like, you need to play a bit more of a not baiting playstyle, just like, you know, you're the clutch minister, you're the closer, you're the solo carry, you're not... There's no way that, you know, for 13 rounds, you need to be the front line. And also, you're playing Chamber. How do we have 5 first deaths? I mean, where is the teleport? Does that exist? What do we do after it? You know? Crosshair solid on active holes, but clears got lazy. What's the fix? We'll check it. Double Sentinel meta, prove me wrong. I can easily prove you wrong, like in ranked solo queue, it really doesn't matter. Generally speaking, in ranked solo queue, like team comps don't matter at all. Better team will always win. Like you have like 5 Sentinels and win a match. 5 duelists win a match. Like it's all about how you play the game, fundamentally, and on a macro level and micro level as well. Like team play, generally speaking, Valorant doesn't exist. Like, you know, executes can always be, even if you have the perfect team composition. Only God knows, like, who are you playing with against, how well your teammates are gonna place their utility and what's gonna happen in that match. Like, so, literally, you can play triple Sentinels if you want. Like, if you have strong teammates and good teammates and you are good as well, like, it doesn't matter. Tracker says defense weak. Is that real or just one bad game? We'll check it. Do I pick the op round 5, abuse it? But generally speaking, like on a map such as Lotus, on a defender side with Chamber, you want to get the operator as soon as possible. Like, I mean, it's a really good map for op and like Odin as well. There's a lot of good plays that you can do with Chamber around the rotating doors with the trip setups and with the teleport setups. A lot of different ways how you can engage the enemies, even if they have strong utility usage. So op should definitely be like your top 2 weapons on this map on a defender side with Chamber. You don't need to sacrifice some rounds to like get the operator. That's always dumb and stupid. But you know, if you have money to get it in a 4th round, 5th round, do it. Need specifics on cleaner defense setups rotations. We'll talk about that. Obviously, it's gonna be very important for this VOD review. Turning first bloods into round wins without overswinging. Very simple. Like, generally speaking, like you make a numbers advantage in Valorant, you turtle in and you just focus on your teammates. You're not even focusing on enemies anymore. Like, you're just asking yourself who in my team has the highest chances of dying, who should I play with, fuck the map control, fuck everything, just abuse that advantage. Unless, you know, you're playing in some economy disadvantage, then, you know, getting 1 more kill is always a good idea. Breaking lazy clears plus autopilot. Didn't I share some training with you through the tracker review? I'm gonna check that later. Let me check it now, actually. Like, I remember this guy. Oh, you did. I didn't do anything. So I just did a tracker review because you gifted six subs. Okay. Okay. So yeah. I mean, like I have hundreds of different training. Some are for mechanics. Some are for this, for that. Utility users. Like, if I see that something is good for you and you have some bad habits that can easily be fixed with some training example, I'm just gonna drop it in your face and, you know, that's it. You're gonna do something for like 2-3 months. Balancing team play versus solo utility. Okay. How is my attack lurks? Was attack good? Oh, attack lurks in Ascendant 1, bro. How many times do we lurk, huh? Like, I really hope that this match is not gonna be one of those lonely games. I mean, right now I played Cypher on Lotus. On attacker side, how many times I lurked? Maybe one time, like through the C main, just to get the info with the camera, and that's it. Like, generally speaking, you just want to play with your teammates, play a refray game, support them, like, especially with Chamber, like, you have a teleport, like, your second, third duelist, like, you have a free life, free kills, like, lurking and flanking is something you should do only when you see an opportunity to do it. Like, maximum 1, 2, or 3 rounds in 12 rounds on the attacker's side. But we'll see, you know, what actually happened. Please make note on what was a good lurk and good impact. Okay, we'll do. Tell me when I provided impact in rounds that may have not seemed I have done much. Of course, as always. Okay, so we have a match that is around 30-something, 40 minutes actually. Okay, so probably overtime. Our friend is from North Americano, and he plays a lot of Valorant. A lot. Joshi, let me see, when did I do a tracker review for you? Like, so how deep I need to go here? I did a tracker review maybe because before my vacation. It was on July 26th. July 26th. So that is like what? Week 25, Act 4, and Act 3. Okay, I mean, playtime good. We did get to Ascendant 2 again, which is good. But still, you know, it seems that you struggle with... at least you struggled with the identical problems that you had before. Anyways, we have a VOD review now, so... I don't even need to look at this tracker, like, it's pointless. I don't know what is the MMR of your account, like, you know, what the fuck is this, bro? The guy has 114 wins, 97 Ls, and do this at, like, Ascendant 1 still. How much rank rating you get per win and loss? Like, well, this is crazy, bro. The only problem in this side that I can see is the KST. That's the only issue. Like, 71.2% with these statistics is unacceptable. I mean, my guy is dropping 166 ADR, 1.2 KV, 28% overall headshot ratio, 33 average damage delta per round. Like, how do we have 71% KST? You know, if I had these type of stats, brother, I would be a ranked 1 player, basically. Like, it's impossible. Like, it just seems that, you know, you probably take 1 or 2 kills every round, but then just you fucking die and you just let your teammates do whatever the fuck they want to do. We're taking a lot of either unnecessary fights, bad fights, or fights that you don't need to take. Like, with these stats, you should already be Immortal 1 minimum. In 216 matches, and my guy is dropping 166 ADR and 1.2 KD. What are we talking about? What are we... Like... And the guy was Ascendant 2 last act. With these stats, you should already be Immortal 1. Like, essentially, when you see a tracker like this, players are mostly missing, like, some solo impact. They're dying or fighting way much that they need to, and that's it. Like, basically, it is impossible with these stats being stuck in a rank below or on the same rank. It is just purely impossible. Clutch percentage very low. We can do something better in 1v1 and 1v2 gunfights. You know, clutches, like, that needs to be good. Like, basically, in ranked solo queue, your performance matters the most in 3 type of rounds. First round is mega important. Like, for the first round, you should always have a strategy how you want to play it, and your win rate in the pistol round should always be above 60%. How you play the eco rounds and anti-eco rounds is mega important, because those rounds are the mental breakers and can turn the tide of the match in terms of economy. And the clutch scenarios. Like 1v1s and 1v2s, you should be winning minimum 60% of time, because they are also a huge mental breakers and a huge deal in ranked solo queue. I mean, what are we talking about? You just saw how impactful these rounds were when I was left alive. I mean, those are my main strengths as well. Like, you know, I'm really shit when I need to take a 50-50 fight, for an example. Now, okay, I mean, like, all of these stats, other stats look decent, good. Not bad. Everything is fine. Amount of last deaths is a bit like iffy. You know, for an example, you have 500 last deaths in 220 matches. A good ratio for a player that is like in between Ascendant 1 and Immortal 2 is minimum 1 to 3. Like, basically, for every match that you play, you should have at least 3 rounds where you were the last alive and you were actually controlling the outcome of your game, or that specific round. Like, where players make the most amount of mistakes is when they end up in a huge numbers advantage. You know, they throw enormous amount of rounds because of this. In ranked solo queue, like, you know, you never know if your teammates are gonna take the fight with you, if they're gonna swing with you, if they're gonna do what is the most optimal. And when you end up, like, you know, 3v1, 2v1, 4v1, 4v2, like, almost never, you should never be the first contact with the enemies in those situations. Like, you should be the second. I mean, you should not be baiting your teammates, you know, letting them die for nothing. You want to fight with your teammates. You want to make sure that they stay alive, that you stay alive as well. Like, the problem is, like, a lot of the problems for players is when they end up like 2v1, for an example. You expect from your, you know, like, Ascendant teammate, if, I don't know, if the spike is planted here and you're in the main, that Ascendant teammate, as soon as you swing this, that he is gonna take this fight with you. But a lot of the times, that's not gonna happen, and you cannot control what this guy is gonna do. So, in ranked solo queue, it's always, like, one of the worst mistakes that players can make. Making a pre-assumption that your teammates are gonna always do the most optimal play. It is always, but literally always, the best idea to play every scenario, every situation, and to get into every match with a mindset that your teammates are gonna do the opposite of optimal, which is bad, essentially, until they prove to you through rounds that they are capable of clutching the rounds, winning the rounds, that they're actually a good type of teammates. Like, same mistake people make in League of Legends, for an example, and any other competitive game as well. So, you need to have that mindset where you are the carry, you are the impact player, you are the round closer, you cannot rely on these guys, you know? And if they're making the mistakes, you try to correct them. Either with your utility usage, maybe with your voice, you know, telling them that they should do something different, etc., etc., or with your better positioning. Now, everything else, as I said, like, decent, good. Ooh. Okay. Okay, your defense is actually pretty good. You know, you're lacking a bit of KST as well there. Like on defender side, it's so easy to have above 75% KST. Every player should have that. But on attacker side, we can do something better, you know, like, I mean, you have a high KD, high damage dealt, but once again, only 70% KST, and only 50% round win percentage. Like with these type of stats in Ascendant 2 lobby, you should have at least like 52% round win percentage. Like that's like a minimum, essentially. So maybe you're lurking way too much, more than you should. Maybe we're not playing with our team in the most optimal way, or pathing with them in the most optimal way, which we're gonna see all of that in this VOD review. When it comes to the agents, my best advice to the players is always, if something suits your playstyle, if something is working for you, keep abusing that shit until it completely stops working. So if Chamber is already such a good pick for you, run it down. Run it down. And, of course, on the side, you can try, you know, experimenting with some other agents, you know, like, for an example, maybe Vele would be a good pick for you, because Vele has a pretty similar approach that you would have with Chamber in some situations. Then maybe like, maybe this new agent, new Sentinel that's coming in the game, like they say they're gonna have a teleport similar to Chamber, you know, for an example. But it kind of seems that, you know, static characters that don't have like some crazy movement abilities and crazy timings suit you better than the movement type of agents. So maybe try ISO, I don't know, like try Reyna, try something like that. But at the end of the day, you don't need to try anything. You have 56% win rate with Chamber. Just run it down with Chamber until it stops working. Why would we change anything? Like if I have a 56% win rate with something, and I'm feeling confident on that agent, I'm feeling good, why do I need to change anything? I don't, you know? There's no reason for any change. Like, we can just improve our gameplay even further on that specific character. Okay. KST low in these rounds, but we'll see what's the problem there. This is okay. Vandal, Phantom doesn't matter to you. You're playing equally with both of these weapons. I don't know how Headhunter is your second most used weapon. I mean, it should be top 7, but second is kinda too much because there's Outlaw, there's Operator, you know. Weapon versatility can be much better, especially as I like you will see that all of the greatest Chamber players, they have such an amazing weapon versatility, you know, like because Chamber is the minister of weapons, you know, like in Valorant, like combos such as, you know, Headhunter, Judge, Heavy Shield, Ultimate, I don't know, like Bucky, Shorty, Spectre, Stinger, like there's Odin, like there's so many different combos you can use with Chamber that it's kind of criminal that you're just limiting yourself to only the one-tap weapons. Just look at a Horcus for an example, like, or any good Chamber main in this game. Like, they're abusing the shitons of different weapons, baiting the enemies to push them and stuff like that, you know. You're playing on Bind, for an example. You can start the round with some TP setup on top of the truck with a Headhunter in an eco round, bait the enemies to push you, then you pull out the Judge or Bucky in the lamps, bab. 1, 2, 3 easy kills, reset the round, reset yourself, play with your teammates the rest of the retake or the rest of the round. Like, it's very important that you're always in the enemy's head when you're playing Chamber, that enemies are always afraid of you when they're engaging you, when they're clearing you out, like, that they don't know what to expect. If you're only showing one playstyle, one set of weapons or one set of strategies, like, it's gonna be easier for enemies to adapt. Other than that, let's see, why the hell are we not Immortal 1 still, yet, whatever. Okay, now we are on a defender side of Lotus. You load up in a match. A great game. on a specific side with and against a very specific team composition. First thing you're asking yourself, on which map am I playing and what rules should I follow on this map? A site and C site, your number 1 and number 2 priorities on this map. Number 3 priority, B site. Generally speaking, when you can read the enemies and when you can tell where the enemies are gonna go, you always want to start on either A or C site. Like you as a chamber, you have a lot of good plays that you can do, and we should not be wasting that opportunity. Now, my music is a bit too loud. Yeah, sorry. Now, whenever you cannot read the enemies, you have no idea where they're going to go, what they're going to do, or enemies are playing an eco halbye round, you always start on the B site, and you play fast rotations with your teleport. Now, on Lotus, on a defender side, the first 4 rounds, you should persuade your teammates to play a bit more passive. There is no reason to fight aggressively for the A main or C main control because we don't know what the enemies are going to do. We might just completely waste our utility, taking some space, while in reality, if they don't go there, we're missing all of that utility to retake the opposite site. After the 4th round or 3rd round, we can, you decide. Do we want to play aggro? Do we want to continue playing passive? Now, if you're the solo sentinel on this map, your trademark should always go for the B main area of the map right here. Done. It cannot go anywhere else. Exactly in the middle of the choke point, so we can actually, enemies cannot smoke it off, pass it in any way, and that's it. If you're the secondary sentinel, we can mix it up a bit. Like you can just cover in the gaps that your teammates are leaving, on specific areas, specific sites. Like we can do the trips for the A main, trips for the C main, trips for the B main. Depends where we have a leak in our team composition and in our setup. Now, that's it, essentially. Like in this match, you're the secondary sentinel, so the trademark should always be in the middle of the B main if the Vise is already covering the C site. We have a different variations of a trademark, depending like what you decide to push, how much space you want to take and stuff like that. I think I covered in my chamber ranked playbook on my Discord server every single chamber setup on Lotus. You're a tier 3 sub on my Discord server, take a look at the chamber playbook. Generally speaking, you put the trademark there and that's it. The only variation you do for the B main is you can put this trademark when you want to fight with your teammates for the C long area of the map a bit more aggressively. But we're going to talk about this setup later. Anyways, so in this first round of Lotus, we should always play on the A site and play fast rotations towards B and C. On Lotus, in the first 4 rounds, fast rotations. On the first contact between your team and the enemy team, make some kind of a move. Unless your teammates are just stomping the enemies and you don't need to move at all, obviously. After the 4th round, you need to base your rotations based on information that enemies gave you in the previous rounds. Now, how can you play the first round with chamber? You can do a lot of different stuff. For an example, we can put a trip on B, get a light shield, get 2 headhunters, and you can simply start the round playing this type of a setup, where you put your teleport for the actual site. Here, for an example, you wait a right moment of time to surprise the enemies and kill them when they're pathing through this area of the map. Try to get 1 kill, reset yourself, and play on the site with your teammates on a refrag potential. Option number 2. We can start at the stairs, holding this angle, trying to delete 1 enemy, teleporting, or not even using the teleport for the site, fighting the enemies on this angle, then fighting the enemies on this angle, then fighting with our teammates. Option number 3, you can play classic shorty strategy. You can drop the shorty at the backside, get a trademark. For the rest of the money, you're gonna get like 3 or 4 headhunters. Is that 4? 4, I think. And you start basically once again here. And we can hold this angle, go for one tap, try to delete the first enemy, rotate onto the bomb site. We can put the teleport right here, take this angle, try to delete one more enemy, try to delete one more enemy. We bait the enemies to push us with the... to just mindlessly push us at the backside because, you know, they're not gonna expect the shorty. We pick up the shorty and we just take an easy kill, reset the round, take the classic pistol, and that's it. There's many other options that you have. These are my personal favorite. Whatever you want to do, it's up to you. Enemies are not going A, reset the teleport immediately, and just rotate towards B or towards the C side. Also, if you already get the info that all of the enemies are C or all of the enemies are A, reset the trademark for the B main as well. If you don't need it there, it's gonna be useful for the retake in one way or another. We can scout the enemies, we can reveal them, we can bait their shots when we are going for the aggressive fights. We can just cover the enemy's potential flanks, lurks, while we're taking the bomb site control, so enemies cannot, you know, wrap us through certain areas of the map. Whenever your utility is not useful anymore, or you don't need it in a specific area of the map, take it with yourself. It's gonna be useful in one way or another. Also, if you already know that enemies are gonna push B, if you're already placing this type of a trip, or any type of a trip, a really good idea is to reset that trip before the enemies destroy it. So you have it again. I mean, if I already know it's a 5-man push on B or 5-man push on C, most of the times enemies are just going to destroy that trip, and that trip is going to be useless. Like, the point of the trip is that it should just give us the info if enemies can be somewhere. Most of the times, it's not going to hit the enemies are just going to destroy it, and then you're not going to have it. Now, that's it. Let's just see what he's going to do and how he's going to play this first round. Listen, like, for the first round, doing this type of a setup for the B main area of the map, I mean, this A-Link setup, it's really bad. And there's only one reason for it. The reason is you can easily get stuck in this A-Link area of the map, and if enemies are doing a 5-man push onto A site, you won't be able to support your teammates in any way on the site. Like, you should always, in the first round, prepare some kind of an A setup and be ready for the 5-man push onto A site and play the retake of the B site and C site. Especially against the Vice. 90% of times, enemies are gonna push A site in the first round. Why? They're scared. You know, they're scared to push against the Vice. They don't have the confidence to reset the executes, to just send it in, you know? And especially with a Neon in team composition, like pushing against the Vice that is probably playing C-set in the first round, but maybe not the brightest idea, unless, you know, enemies jump over the wall and then reset the execute for the second time. So, if you already wanna, in the first round, pick the enemies from here, do some kind of a setup like this. You know, put a TP here, for an example. Or put a TP here, for an example. So once you destroy the doors, okay, we can still go and take some kind of an off angle. Still try to kill the enemies, but you're teleporting towards the A site to support your teammates on A. Period. Right now, I really don't have high hopes for this round. You should, I mean, if this was your plan, like, you should have destroyed these doors much faster and just go for the pick. I mean, because if enemies just block you off here and you cannot get out to support your teammates on A, Only God knows how this round is gonna go. And see, like, what now? What now? You're useless. And you're just praying to God that your 3 random teammates will be able to stop this push onto A site. Also, this play, criminal. Absolutely criminal. Like, you cannot swing out in an open area of the map without any info. Where's the enemy team? Like, jump spot the enemies first. Get it, like, in this area of the map, enemies could have been anywhere. They can be here, they can be there, you know, chamber can be holding you here. Jump spot. You know, like, do this. Bam. Do the second jump spot. Bam. And now, take a fight. You don't need to commit this much in the first round. Also, your teammates stop the enemy's push on the A site. Tree is cleared. Enemies don't have the smoke for the aim and area of the map. Where the fuck are we going? We got lucky. We actually have decent allies for this first round. Where are we going? And why are we fighting this alone? Like, this death is one of those unnecessary deaths that can cost you a lot. And you always need to keep in mind that in ranked solo queue, your teammates are more than capable, in every elo and every rank, of losing a 1 versus 4, 1 versus 3, 2 versus 4. More than capable. Is a gym better than in calisthenics if you have money? Depends on your mentality. You know, for an example, I can't bother to go outside and do something with, you know, like, in the park, at the home. Like, I just don't have motivation to do that. And that's why I go to the gym. Like, when I go to the gym, I know I came to the gym to train. And nothing else, you know. Also, like, I think, you know, in terms of looks, at least, I think it's much... You're gonna have much faster progress in gym than actually doing anything else.
Spike down A.
Oh. Look at that! Our teammates actually lost! 4 versus 2. What a surprise! Just if it is already 5v3, there's almost never a moment of time where you need to take a solo fight. Like, almost never. Maybe if you're playing with a shorty and enemies are coming at you and you can trade yourself for a few kills or something like that. You're playing some eco round. But, you know, first round 5v3, like, what are we doing? Like, you just lost 2 rounds for no reason. Potentially 2 rounds. Now, in the second round of Lotus, if the enemies win the first round, second round, you always play where? You play on the A set again. And simply go for the classic shorty setup. Once again, we can use some aggressive teleport setup to potentially get a kill. Playing from the stairs, playing from this angle, peeking on timing, opening the rotating doors, and trying to get a pick, teleporting back into sight. But our main kill potential is killing the enemies at the backside with a shorty and trading yourself at least for 1 kill. If you win the first round of Lotus, you always play on the B side. And you play fast rotations between C and A. Period. I know that in this round enemies are gonna go C. I'm just speaking based on general stats and what you should be doing in every single match. I'm not even gonna pay attention on this shit up there. Listen, what, like... the first time when you're fighting for the C main area of the map, in some kind of an eco round like this, or a halbye round, you can try to go for an outplay setup, instead of going for a regular setup. What do I mean by that? Basically, putting your teleport here, as soon as the round starts, having one teammate to bait for you, and you're going for a bit more aggressive peek. This teleport makes identical sound as this teleport here. Identical. And if this play works in high elo lobbies, I don't see a reason why it's not gonna work in Ascendant. I mean, a few days ago, like, one of my students did this in a Ascendant Immortal lobby, like, people are just unaware. I mean, people don't clear this box at all for some reason. Like, when I'm going alone, when I'm going last, I need to clear it myself, bro. Like, it's so crazy. So, this type of a play, usually you want to do in this type of eco rounds when you have nothing to lose and, you know, halbye eco rounds, bonus rounds. So, if you're already started on C in this round, go for this setup, tell device to bait for you, try to make something out of it. I mean, it's okay that you're forcing some kind of a fight here, but you don't need to force it too much. I know it's an eco round, we need to get some kills and try to get some guns to win this round, but this is just a suicide. You know, without the teleport and only with the headhunter standing in the middle of an open area of the map against, you know, 5 enemies that are pushing you. You need to be God, bro, you need to be like, I don't know, Chronicle to win these fights. Like right now, okay, we teleported at the site. You know, let's hold some kind of a tight angle here. Try to get one kill. Enemies are moving in. Try to get another kill. Try to get another kill. Classic pistol out. Let's, with a triple shot, try to do something. How is our second fight immediately some kind of a 50-50 open fight that is not working in your favor in any way? It's not even 50-50. Like, this is a fight that works in the enemy favor. Like, instead of getting only this one kill, maybe we could have gotten like 2 kills, 3 kills before we die. That is efficient gameplay in Valorant. Like, this kill here, okay, it's an eco round, like, you know, in these rounds you should have at least 1 KD. Like, you know, even that kill was good enough, obviously. Like, we damaged the enemy's economy and we're building our ultimate. But still, you know, when the Vice already died like a potato, let's try to get more kills than 1. Okay, so what do we do now? What are we gonna do? Basically, whenever enemies are eco, halbye, bonus, they have low economy on the attacker's side. Start on the B site and play fast rotations between C and A. Right now, you have nobody on the C site, or only Vice on the C site. We can just play a fast rotation towards C with our teleport, and we can guard the B main area of the map. So we can start the round. For an example, we buy, you know, Vandal, Heavy Shield, Trademark, whatever. We can put the teleport for the waterfall. Put a TP, I mean the trademark, right here. Take this type of a tight angle. Try to get the first kill. One tap or burst fire. Then, with a peeker's advantage, try to delete one more enemy. Reset yourself. That's it. If enemies are going C, we're immediately there to support our Vice. If enemies are going A, we're immediately there to support our teammates, destroy the doors, and fight for the A main area of the map. Or just rotate through the spawn and help our teammates on the A site.
That works.
Play on C with the Vice!
In we go.
Criminal? This is criminal. Also, I mean, I don't know what is this TP setup with Chamber. Generally with Chamber, like, you really want to maximize your, you know, efficiency with the teleport. Like, if you already want to play this passively, you might as well just, you know, put the teleport on top of the box right here. Jump for the enemies. Try to take a fight, you know. Go for a fight here. Take this off angle. Try to kill another enemy. Until then, you should already have the smokes, hopefully, you know, to drop down and reset yourself. I mean, this teleport here, I don't know what is the purpose of this teleport if you're already going to play on the bomb site. Like, then it is much better if you put a teleport for the spawn. All the way here. Then you can, you know, if you're already starting so passively, you can just start on this off angle immediately, kill one guy, then kill second guy, and just reset yourself. You're just gonna be stuck on the site anyways. But we should have started on the B set and play on the B set in this third round. As I said, like, I'm not gonna pay attention on the minimap and the replay system. I don't give a fuck about that. Like, you're gonna see... These are the same advices I gave in every Lotus VOD review. So far, we are 2 out of 3.
There they are.
Fast rotations. Fast rotations in the first 4 rounds, like, don't even think about it. Like, if you have no info, if enemies like to lurk, flank, split the map, fuck it. Especially if you have a numbers advantage, fast rotations. Support your teammates, prioritize team play over anything else, and that's it. I really don't like your reaction here. And I know that you have a teleport. I know that you have a confidence to take this type of a fight. But in Valorant, it's always a good idea surprising enemies. Fighting with your own peeker's advantage. Instead of waiting for enemies to peek you and fuck you up. You know? Like, for example here. You heard the enemies opening the doors. You still have this teleport right here. Get behind the cover. And then when the enemies are pressing the W key like a monkeys, you know, running into the bomb site. Free kill. Easy kill. We still have a Vice wall, Vice setup. Wall activates. You know, Vice uses the razor vines. Another easy kill. And we just run away. Save the gun. Preserve the numbers advantage. Preserve the economy. Close out the round in the most painless way possible. You don't wanna... You know... You don't wanna wait for the enemies in the choke point while they're opening the doors. They can peek you from the left side, from the right side in various different ways. Plus, you have zero information if any enemies are in the C-long area of the map. And you're doing this. What the fuck is this, bro? It is really criminal how much you want to fight when there's no reason to fight. This is why you lost the first round. Actually, the first 2 rounds. Like, you need to chill down. You need to have a checklist for yourself in your brain. You know, what I need to do in a specific round until I can say enough is enough. Time to play a bit more of a trading game. Play with my teammates, and that's it. We just boil it down to the basics. This is why so many players stay stuck. With a really good statistics. There's so many of them. Because you're trying to do more than what you're paid for. There's 2 ways of playing Valorant. 2 ways. Playing for fun. And playing efficiently to rank up. Now, what you want to do depends, you know, what is your goal? If your goal is to rank up in the most efficient and painless way possible, do what I tell you to do. If your goal is just to have fun, take any fight that you want, like do whatever, you know. Do whatever you want to do, basically. You can take this fight, no problem. But the problem is, like, once again, if you die here, in a fight that you don't need to take, plus, the fight is not efficient at all. You're just taking a completely 50-50 in a wide open area of the map. You have nowhere to escape. Now you either win this fight, or you lose it. If you lose the fight, huge problem. economy is going into trenches, is becoming worse. Enemies have a free gun on the seaside, and the round becomes complicated for no reason at all.
One enemy remaining.
Thankfully,
Spike down.
this time, we didn't lose it as we did in the first round.
Down C.
Okay. Now, when the enemies create the AB, like basically in the first 3 rounds, and the most, generally speaking, the most basic things that every single player should think about, especially if you're playing in the lobbies, that are between Gold 1 and Immortal 2. We have first the AB rule. Then second, we have the rule of fear. And third, we have the rule of 3 executes. And we combine these rules with enemy's economy, our economy, and ultimate status of our team and enemy team to decide where we play next and what we do. And of course, we have specific rules that we follow on the maps. AB rule, very simple. If you notice that every single round, enemies are doing something different compared to what they did in the previous rounds, you just gamble on opposite. Rule of fear. Players in ranked solo queue are usually afraid, because that's how an average player's mentality works, usually afraid to repeat their mistakes from the previous rounds. If you fuck up the enemy somewhere, chances are much higher they will do something different in the next round. Similar, but different. Rule of 3 executes. In ranked solo queue, very rarely, especially if you're playing between Gold 1 and Immortal 2, you're gonna encounter the teams that have the confidence to do the same execute, same strategy, 3 rounds in a row. So, in this round, based on enemy's economy, rule of fear, AB rule as well, and the map that we're playing, the only thing I'm not expecting is the B push. Like, there's no fucking way enemies go B. So we are expecting, once again, either the A push or the C push. We still don't need to fight for any significant map control. We can play one more round passively. It's fine. But, unfortunately, we need to start on the B side and play fast rotations between A or C. In this round, it's a completely 50-50 gamble. I would personally go A and do some kind of an A setup, like starting with a trip here, starting in the A link, destroying the doors, and having a fast teleport towards the spawn or towards the A set again. You can also put this teleport in the tree, but with this teleport you just need to swing a bit wider and force a fight with the enemies. Now, as I said, like, this is a gamble, 50-50 gamble, but the only thing we're not expecting is the B push. So we don't need to have any specific B setup, except the proper trip. And anyways, we have a Vise on the C side, so, we don't need to play with the Vise early on. I was just randomly putting these teleports, like, however we want. This angle here is actually pretty good, to be honest, with the chamber. Just, you can have a better TP positions. I mean, to be honest, like, TP at the backside is, around the pillar is not that bad, like, whatever. Ronnie, thank you for the rose. This is very good off angle, in my opinion, because no one is clearing this position properly. Everyone is, when the enemies are scaling up through the C-main area of the map, they're just doing this most of the time. So they're not going to be looking down here. Good kill, good positioning. Nothing to complain about.
Terminus.
Why is the YouTube UI looking like that? I don't know, it's some new update. I'm using your AimLab Ultimate training routine since 2 years. It's incredible, thank you. No problem, like, this year I need to make new Kovacs and AimLabs routines, general routines for you guys. I'll try my best to deliver until January. No, I don't understand why you wasted your teleport like this. Like, there's no reason to TP here. You know? Okay, you got a kill without using teleport. Get the fuck out from the same position that you held. We can maybe use TP here. You know? We have a full Y setup. If 1 or 2 enemies move in with this teleport, we can just delete them. And then, you know, we reset ourselves with the TP, maybe play with the Vise, maybe go from the left side. Depends how the enemies push. But it's just a bit of a waste of a TP, like, I mean, you got a kill without using a teleport. It's better to use it efficiently for the next fight that we will probably have to take on the site. Like, for example, having a TP now to take the fight with the potential enemies that are gonna move in would be muy bien. Imagine if you had a TP now. You could have played a bit closer, maybe go behind, you know, run here. Take a bit more aggressive fight. Now you cannot fight that aggressively, you know? Now, your job, when you end up in this type of position on the C side, in a 4v3, is either to get the fuck out and play a retake, or survive as much as you can before your teammates rotate and help you out. In this example, you have a Clove in the waterfall. We can just wait for the Clove to close the gap with us. Around this pillar, we can hide our body. Or you can just take the knife out and just run into the spawn immediately. Your job, once again, is completely done. Enemies have Fade, Chamber, and Clove in the post plant. What the fuck are they gonna do? Against Raze, Chamber, Clove, and Fade. I mean, we have Raze, utility, like probably a nade, boombot, everything. And once again, my dude is Clip Minister. Like, you really, like, listen. You know? Like, you can play it like this as much as you want when you reach Radiant. Go for these clips, make YouTube videos, do whatever the fuck you want to do. Your main goal right now is getting Radiant. You know? Like, your job is done. You don't need to fight anymore. Amazing 2 kills, amazing refrag, numbers advantage. Enemies have a poor setup to play the post. I mean, not a poor setup, just they don't have any specifically strong agents to play this post plant. Why are we immediately giving our life to the enemies? You see? Once again. Like, already, just in 4 rounds. Actually, you lost all 3 of these rounds because of the same problem. Efficiency in the gunfights that you take, and efficiency in your gameplay. Nothing else. Literally nothing else. Right now, we would have been 4-0. Our economy would be skyrocketing. And the match is already over mentally for the enemy team. Done. W mug, brother. I love this mug so much. Like, I got it for like 2 euros. Like, it's the best shit I bought in the last 5 years. It's Metiara. Let's stream, man. Our girl, I don't know. Okay. Now, enemies are going A, B, C, D, E, F, G. They're following the AB pattern. Yes. In this round, we can start on the A side. No problem. Now, let's see what type of setup we're gonna do. Do we have ultimate? Yeah, we have ultimate.
They are so dead.
Listen, like, whenever you think that enemies might go A, and you're already playing on the A side for the first time with ultimate or operator, you might as well try getting the kill through the rotating doors. Because usually it's very easy to, you know, to get a pick like that. You're not gonna get pushed back with a flashes or some utility. And that's the first thing that I will try. as a chamber player. Like basically, you know, you can put some teleport behind this boxy box, or just for the site, like here, hidden, whatever. Open the doors, and now through the doors, when the enemies do the execute, kill this guy, you know, like, go on the left side maybe, try to find through the gap, another guy, like. That's 3 kills for you, with a chamber, if you already think enemies are gonna go A. Because here, you know, like, enemies might push us back with a fade utility, with a neon utility. Neon might use a wall to completely cut off your vision, so we don't know what's gonna happen. Not having anything for B site is always criminal. We don't need this trademark for A site. There's 4 of you guys playing A in this round. It's okay, you know, we can put it on B.
You want to play? Let's play.
That hurts so much.
You want to play? Let's play.
When it comes to the mechanical stuff, just after this VOD review, I'm gonna give you some aim training, like, we're not gonna be wasting our time on this shit.
Oh, I like it.
Again, we did a good job. Not the best job, but a decent job. We are 5v4. The only thing you should be analyzing right now, where should I reposition, and with which teammate I should play right now. Which one of my teammates has the higher chances of dying? Nothing else. So right now, we should play with the Raze. Clove and Fade are playing together in the spawn, on a refrag potential already. Raze is alone in the tree. If the Raze dies, you need to give up the site. Now, wasting chamber bullets and from the ultimate, just to randomly spam through the smoke, don't do that. You know, if you're not like 90% certain you can get a kill, based on some, you know, line of sight, some corridor that you're holding, like, just don't do it. It's too valuable. Where are we going, bro? Where are we going? I wonder how you have like a 53% round win percentage on a defender side, to be honest. Again, a good play at the start. Numbers advantage made. But the second play we do is we push through the smoke with the ultimate, without the teleport. We sell the numbers advantage and our teammates lose the round 4 versus 4. No, it's not embarrassing. Like this is very good VOD to learn from. This is how like a lot of Ascendant and low immortal players are actually playing the game. They're playing with their cock, not with their, you know, not with their mind, essentially. With their brain. And you especially in these lobbies, these are the babysitting lobbies where you never know if you're gonna get good teammates or bad teammates. Like, you know, a lot of boosted accounts, a lot of people that hate their like lives, that have depression, play there. So you cannot afford this type of mistakes. When you play in Radiant lobbies, you can maybe try to play more outside of the box. You know, play like an add-on player, go for some plays that enemies might not expect, but in this lobby with 4 teammates that you don't know anything about, you're gonna have a really hard time. A really hard time. Because already now, it should be 5-0 for us. Like literally, we should already be 5-0 on defender's side. Now listen. Enemies are going A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Yes. In this round, we should start on the B side and play fast rotations over C. Why? Once again, I wouldn't start on C. Even though chances are above 80% that enemies are gonna go either C or B. We have a Vice there. She has the full setup, like she's gonna delay the enemies at least a bit. And you know, and with this teleport, what you can do, you can basically put a trademark here. If enemies are going C, open the rotating doors, try to take a pick through the rotating doors, instant teleport towards the waterfall, bam, you're there to support your Vice again. This is generally one of the best plays you can do and best gambles that you can do when you think that enemies might go either B or C. Just, you know, taking this early control, waiting for this to activate, and then with this teleport right here, let me take it. You know, you can wait on the enemy's timing. They make the sound in the C main area of the map. Kill one guy, get him out of the server, and you're there to support your Vice and play with her. If enemies are going B, okay, whatever. We're gonna reveal them with a trademark. We still have a teleport to take one favorable fight. Get out, reset yourself, let's defend the B site.
Get out of my way!
This is also criminal. Like, there's not a single map in Valorant, a single situation, where you should be starting on some bomb site, fully hidden, without getting any information for your team, how many enemies are in that specific area of the map. Like, if you're already starting on the C site, we need to be jump spotting this angle. Someone needs to jump spot this angle and give us the info how many enemies are C, so that your teammates on A, B, and on other areas of the map, they know what to do. Should they take more space? Should they push behind? Should they be aware that maybe one enemy is lurking, flanking? Maybe enemies are playing default, you know? As soon as you use your teleport, make it a habit of yours to reset it immediately. It's gonna be useful in one way or another. Don't leave it on the ground, because sometimes I see that players forget to reset this teleport for 30 seconds. Then the teleport gets resetted. Then they pick it again, and there's another 30-second timer, because that's how teleport works. To be honest here, like, I will not give a shit about this jet. You know? We are 4v3 on the B site. Enemy jet is under the pressure. You still have a Vice wall for the C main area of the map. If the jet is coming behind us, we are gonna know that. Right now, after you took this fight with the jet, and you teleported away, you are running for your life, actually for your teammate's life, to support them on the B site. This is just a waste of time. Jet should be the one wasting the time. You know? We should be trying to stomp these 3 enemies on the side before the jet even rotates to them.
Spike planted.
Of course, she's gonna use rotating doors, but whatever. She's in the B main, she's gonna be smoked off, we can do something.
My turn.
I cannot believe the spike is planted on B and we're still fighting this jet in the in the C main area of the map.
One enemy remaining.
Crazy, crazy, bro. Crazy. You're trusting your teammates too much, bro. Like, too much.
Last player standing.
Teleport's ready.
I've never seen this in my life, to be honest. Like, I don't I don't really know what type of... I also have sometimes these moments where my brain completely lags out and, you know, but this was interesting. I fat fingered stop. Skip. It was this siren. Okay. But listen, I once again, I don't care what happened there at the end of the round. The main problem is like what you do at the start and middle of the rounds. Like your team play is 0. Every fight is a solo fight. Every fight is a 50-50 fight. There's like, so far we had 6 rounds and 80% of your gunfights were unnecessary, solo, risky fights for no reason. And every single death was pointless. 6 rounds, 6 pointless deaths. Actually, 5. That is the opposite of efficiency, of efficient gameplay. Now, I don't know what is the opposite of that, to be honest. Like, Manglando. Non-efficient gameplay. Non-efficient gameplay. Okay. Okay, now, you know, in these type of games, where the enemies are easily readable, you should really try to position yourself in a way where you are countering the enemies. The problem is, like, in ranked solo queue, you don't know what your teammates are gonna do, obviously. And if you're just playing the retakes 24/7 and not doing nothing, basically, proactively, you're gonna find yourself in a 1-5 position. Also on Lotus, when you lose so many rounds on a defender's side, and so many rounds you played passively, it is the moment of time to start taking some space with your team. Anyways, your team composition here. Pretty good. Pretty solid for taking the aim and control or the seal on control. So this is the moment of time in your Lotus gameplay where you should be taking the aim and control and then based on that control deciding what to do next. Anyways, you have Vise in the team. As I said, like, Vise should be capable to delay the enemy's push a bit. And maybe not completely, but, you know, it's Vise against Neon and Jet. She can survive, at least. So, yeah, you know, this is the moment of time where you, as a chamber, we need to start aggressing the enemies a bit and doing something out of the box. For an example, we can, you know, once again put a teleport for fast rotation here, or a teleport onto the A site, put a trademark for the link, for the B-main, sorry, destroy the doors, and tell your teammates to fight for the aim and control. You know, we can use a smoke here, metal here, raise nade and seize, fade seize at a rubble, and we need to do something. Like, losing, you know, another round passively, it's definitely out of any question in this VOD, in this game. And once again, we're playing B site when it is obvious that enemies are gonna go A. Or let's put it in this perspective. Like chances in this round is 50-50 that enemies are gonna go either A or C. But if you already have Vise on C, you have 3 teammates on A. But let's take the aim and control first. And then with the teleport anyways, you can fight for the B-man, you can rotate fast to support the Vise. Like, what are we doing? Are we gonna lose like 10 rounds, 9 rounds, 11 rounds on a defender's side, doing absolutely nothing and playing passively as a chamber? These TP setups, they need to be changed. Like in my ranked playbook for chamber on Lotus, I've explained every single teleport setup, trademark setup that you should be doing on this map. And also, in the previous rounds, we covered everything.
Spike down A.
Listen, One thing that I really don't like in your gameplay, one major mistake you're making with Chamber, like you're not resetting your utility at all. Like, you left the C site. You left the range of your teleport. Like, already somewhere around the mound, we should pick up that teleport. Is gonna be useful for the retake, to engage the enemies again, etc, etc. And that is something you should be doing with every agent. Not only Chamber, like Cypher, like Vice as well. Like, you know, one mistake that your Vice is making as a Sentinel player, she's instantly wasting both of her Razor Vines on one bomb site. You cannot do that. Like, what if the enemies are doing a 5-man push on A? We're just gonna waste 2 Razor Vines that are very good for the retake and to deny the space for the enemy team. Now, when you're going for these flanks and lurks, you know, behind the enemies, every angle that you engage, you need to behave like the enemies are there and will be there. And we need to clear every position perfectly, one at a time. Here, like, you just went through this area of the map very carelessly. You didn't know that all 5 enemies are A. We didn't get that info from the minimap. I mean, we have it on the replay system, but you didn't get it. Also, right now, your team has stopped the push of the enemies. We can just chill here. You know, jiggle peek a bit. We don't need to commit to the fight too much. Even destroying the enemy chamber trademark right now and just applying the pressure would be enough. But your goal right now is to survive, destroy that trademark, apply the pressure, and you can just easily rotate through the C site, through the B site, connect with your teammates. We have a spike in A main. Enemies need to consistently think about you being behind them, potentially, while in reality we just play a raw refray game with our teammates and that's it.
1 enemy remaining.
You see, right now, maybe you would have had a teleport and you can engage this chamber a bit more aggressively and have a second life and all of that shit. But even here, I don't understand, like, why we're playing so aggro. Our economy is shit. You know? Like, in matches where your economy is shit, like, you really want to make sure that we're surviving as much as we can, so we have good guns for the next rounds. And for the rest of this game. Okay. Now, in that previous round, enemies try pushing A. This is the first time your teammates were actually good and they actually passively stopped the enemy's push with a raise in the tree. So, in this one we can just, you know, this whole match enemies are very easily readable based on the basic rules that we should be using on a defender's side. AB rule, rule of 3, rule of fear as well. So in the next round, where do we play? We can start on the C side and play fast rotation towards B. Or we can start on B set again and once again play this type of a setup where we can put a deep trip here, put the teleport here, and if enemies are going C through the rotating doors, we can try to fuck them up and try to, you know, get one pick before we connect with our Vice. There's literally never a moment of time where it is okay for you to start this passively. And we need to get the info. How many enemies are pushing C long? How many enemies are there? What are they doing? Are they committing to the push and stuff? At least jump spot this angle. Okay, staying for a second fight here is absolutely fine. Okay. As I said, like in this round you had 2 options. Either starting on the C site with some kind of a setup that can be better than this one, obviously. We talked about every setup. Or starting on B set and trying to get a pick in B main or through the rotating doors.
One enemy remaining.
Okay, clean round. Clean round. Now, you know, we stop the enemy's push on C. Enemies are still following all of the rules on the attacker side that we have. Actually, on defense that we have to read them. Yes, starting on the B side with some kind of a fast rotation setup towards A, or starting on A side, totally fine. But as I said, like, when the match is going to shit on a defender side of Lotus, like that's the moment of time where it's really a good idea to start taking more space from the enemy team. Especially because you have a decent team composition to take the A main space. Not the best, but very decent. Okay.
Satchel out.
Insta rotation. You know, like, already in the 5th round, 4th round, you should have noted down mentally for yourself how enemies like to play. And they changed absolutely nothing for like 8 rounds. So until the enemies show you some different playstyle or different way of how they like to play on the map, you can only gamble you can only base your own gameplay and playstyle based on what you've seen before. So, you know, we did notice in previous rounds that enemy chamber likes to lurk alone. We didn't see any other enemies in this A main area of the map. We need to instantly pre-assume that enemies are going either B or C right now. So your instant decision here is pick up that teleport, open the doors, and connect with your Clove and Fade ASAP to play with them. Or we can go into the B tower. Here, I mean, like, yeah, killing this chamber would be amazing. But you already kind of know that your teammates on B set are going to be stomped. We don't even need to aggress this guy too much, like maybe Raze can deal with him. A bigger problem in this round is going to be if your Fade and Clove die. You lose 2 very valuable teammates. You're instantly in a numbers disadvantage. In this chamber, he can play in multiple different ways, you know, like, he got revealed, he doesn't have a teleport anymore. Only God knows if this chamber will commit to any stupid fight, any 50-50, like, well, only God knows what he's gonna do. But we know for a fact that enemies right now are moving into sight, and they're definitely gonna be fighting our Clove and Fade.
Spike planted.
I don't know why you... I mean, obviously, like, we could have gotten some kills, and I'm gonna give you some mechanical training after this VOD review. But, you know, if your Clove already has the ultimate, and you know that one enemy with a shotgun is right next to the corner, relax, wait a bit, you know. Why do you need to be the first contact here or to die from this Fade? Plus your Fade, your Raze from the tower is coming with the ultimate. You can just literally chill. You really need to learn to chill a bit more in your gameplay, you know, like, to play a bit more reserved, to pick only the fights that you really need to pick. Because I firmly believe that if you played this defender side in a bit more efficient way, this would have been already, maybe even 8-0, to be honest. Because enemies were terrible, and we lost like 3 rounds or 4 rounds. I mean, you didn't lose them. You just died after making numbers advantage for your team. And then your team has lost like 4v2, 4v1, 3v1. Like, you cannot do that in solo queue.
One enemy remaining.
Okay. Now listen, like, you know, this is another round where we have a 50-50 scenario. Enemies might go A, they might go B. Once again, we can do the rotating door setup. some passive setup on B and play fast rotations left and right. Just a second. Is he gonna press the tab?
A gift.
Well, fuck, I don't know what's the enemy's economy here, but, you know, like, whenever enemies on the attacker side are eco halberd bonus, you need to gamble more towards the B site and C site. Because chances are above 80% that they're gonna go there. Listen, when you're playing on this angle, it is better that you're engaging the enemies with your own peeker's advantage, essentially. Like, just connecting this angle with this angle here, and when this raise jump spots the enemies or reveals them, then you swing out and try to get a kill from here, instead of waiting for the enemies to delete you. We talked about that problem like in the previous rounds, like that's another problem that you have, like you're waiting for the enemies to be the ones that are peeking you way too many times. Way too many times, especially in the areas of the maps where the enemies can expect you. So I don't know, like, you know, generally speaking, every single setup that we covered is the setup you should be using right now, because in this round, like, we really don't know where the enemies are gonna go, what are they gonna do. So whenever you need to gamble on Lotus, if enemies are gonna go A, C, or B, you start on the B side, and that's it. Simple as that. If your teammates are not fighting for the aim and control at all. These teleport setups are getting crazier and crazier, like as we play this match.
Get out of my way.
Okay. Like I just don't understand these TP setups you're doing, you know, like you're always putting yourself in some kind of a disadvantage, like forcing the fights with the enemies and stuff like that. A hero, like, what are you doing? Reload that one bullet, get the fuck out onto the bomb site. You're playing with Vice. You know? Vice is a wall, razor vines, flesh. Brother, we can easily make a numbers advantage. If the enemies commit to this push, we're gonna get minimum 1 kill. Minimum 1 kill. We don't need to force it this much in these type of rounds where we have like good utility setups, like good teammates with us, and where you're obviously in some kind of a disadvantage. Like, you have 57 HP. Where are we going?
You want to play? Let's play.
Not to mention that this angle is horrible. Like, this is not even a good off angle or anything. In the previous rounds, you had some good off angles, and I told you in every round where you were holding a good position and stuff like that, but, you know, this is Criminalius Rex. Okay. it's okay that you're playing A right now. But once again, you know, like, in this type of rounds, for example, in this round, I don't know if enemies are gonna go A. I have no idea, because, you know, I'm 90% certain they're not gonna go C again. Like 90% of certain in this round. But if I need to gamble if they're gonna do some kind of a B split, or B push, or A split, A push, I don't know. It's better if you have a teleport here, or teleport here at the start of the round. So once again, you can play fast rotations and support your teammates everywhere. And of course, the trip should be in the B main. It's really sad that, you know, in this gameplay you didn't abuse the operator that much, and you didn't abuse these rotating doors to potentially get the picks through them to surprise the enemies on timing and stuff like that. Those plays are really powerful on Chamber, and you will see every great Chamber player doing them, like from Horkus to Ye to any other Chamber main.
Who will I spot first?
Okay, we like in the previous rounds we covered every defensive setup. Like at least change your setups, positions that you're holding, and how you're holding these positions on a defender side. Like, reading the enemies will come over with time. Like, I'll give you some kind of a training for that as well, you know, how to be more focused, more aware of what enemies are gonna do. But setups, they need to be changed. Like, they need to be meaningful with some kind of a purpose, and you want to maximize their efficiency as much as possible. Like with these teleports, like you always want to get either play fast rotations, keep your location a secret, bait the enemies to do something stupid, get some secondary good off angle, common angle, whatever. But you just randomly like putting them wherever the fuck you want.
That's a good spot.
Teammates are going, man. Like, brother, if you notice on the minimap and on your screen that your race is holding a nade here, two of your teammates are starting aggressively looking towards this barrier. That should always be a pre-assumption that they're going for some aggro play, and we need to play with them. Like, body posture of your teammates and utility that they're holding in their hands can tell you 90% of times what your teammates are gonna do. And even if you get baited as a chamber, you still have your teleport at least, you know, I can get out and reset yourself. But here, I don't know what's the plan, like.
That's a good spot.
Let my teammates die on A. I mean, you don't know if enemies are going A or not. Your teammates are fighting for the A main space. Okay, let's take the A main control first. And then we're gonna decide, like, what is the next step. I mean, on Lotus, like, as I said, when the match is going to shit and you're losing the rounds because either because of the raw duels, or enemies just have too much utility to enter the sites, or they have good executes, like, you'll never be wrong if you fight for the aim and space, leave one teammate there, and then just rotate fast towards B and C. This cannot be your first position in any scenario. There's not a single round in your gameplay where your first position can be this one. Especially not as a chamber. This can be your secondary spot. Third spot. You know, we can... As soon as the round... You know, before the match starts, I mean, before the round starts, we can put a TP up there. No problem. Then, maybe, we can play. You know, in the middle of nowhere, holding with operator or whatever, trying to get a pick. Maybe you can start the round playing here, trying to get a pick. Enemies are gonna smoke you off 9 out of 10 times. And then on timing, maybe you can try to peek out, get a pick, and now this is your second, third, fourth position. But this being a first spot, I mean, especially if the enemies have like a good controller. I mean, the smoke for the tower should always go here, like this. And with this smoke that is connected here and here, you don't see shit. You don't see shit from this spot. My guy, like, you know, in every other round, he was just fighting and fighting and fighting, and then he gets a kill, then dies. He gets 2 kills, then dies. Then his teammates lose the round. And in the last round, he was like spectating his teammates, and he was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna be the last alive in this round and win it for them." Maybe, I don't know what's gonna happen, but it's criminal. Well, very unfortunate. Now, rotato potato. What are we waiting for here? Like, you know? Like, your team has gave you the info that no one is aiming anymore. The Vice wall activated. We go. It's 5v4 anyways. We made the numbers advantage. We know that at least 1, 2, or 3 enemies, 4 enemies are on the C side. Rotate. Let's kill enemies on C. And if enemies decide to go back A, no problem. Let's play a 5v4, 5v3, retake, whatever. No way, bro. Like, this level of patience is what you lack in the middle of the rounds, you know? If you have this level of discipline, like, in your gameplay, it would be amazing. 1 minute. 1 minute on this spot. My guy believed. He was a believer. He still believes, like, enemies are C, they can be CT, they can be waterfall, like, they can be anywhere. No, my dude is still chilling here. In ranked solo queue, just play on the information that you have at that moment of time. Don't try to predict anything that didn't happen in the previous rounds. I mean, here, listen. Even if you rotate alone towards the, you know, CT, towards the waterfall, and even if enemies do have one guy that is lurking here, but you can deal with him on the go. You know, you can occasionally check your back. You have 4 teammates moving through the C long. You can bait the shit out of them. You know? You're the playmaker. You're the one that enemies might not expect, you know, because there's literally 4 of your teammates going C long. You don't need to be the first contact, but
30 seconds left.
and this happens. But this happened only because, like, you lost all of the timing in this world to do any rotation of criminal. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Overall, a very crazy gameplay on the defender side that is not efficient, not good for ranked solo queue in any world, way too team reliant in terms of solo impact. Like, there's not a single round where you close the round. There's not a single round where you contributed to actually winning the round. You know? There were some rounds where we made amazing advantage. Get a kill, got out, get 2 kills, got out. But then, whenever you do a good play, you immediately fuck it up. Like, my guy takes 2 kills. It's 5v3. Let's go. Let's take more kills. Like, as I said, on a defender side, like, you're playing more like you're going... first of all, you're missing the structure as a player. You know, what to play in the first round, second round, third round, fourth round, what to play based on the enemy's economy, your economy, what to play based on the enemy's pattern of pushing, what to play based on how good are your enemies and teammates, what to play based on the enemy's playstyle. You need to read the game a bit more there and have a structure in these rounds. You know, you should know where to start and what to do in every single one of these rounds and scenarios. And you're missing the structure in terms of your setups as well. Setups are way too random. Like, the teleports that you're doing and the trademarks, that's not what we're doing on Lotus, you know? Or that's not what you should ever be doing on Lotus, to be honest. That's the main thing that you're missing. Now, the second thing is obviously better team play. Third thing is efficiency in your gunfights. There's no efficiency at all. You're waiting for the enemies to swing you, to delete you. You are like forcing the fights that you don't need to force. Like, if you change these three things and you apply everything that we spoke about in the first 6 rounds of this VOD review, brother, you'll be already Immortal 1. Like, I'm surprised that you have a 53% win rate on a defender's side with this type of gameplay. Like, maybe it's an off game, but you need to realize that playstyle of the players very rarely changes in the VODs. You know? Like, even if this was your worst gameplay, you're probably doing 60% of these mistakes on other maps, in other VODs, and in other games. So yeah. If I need to rate this defender side, 1 out of 10, I would rate it criminal. That would be my rating. Okay, now we are on the attacker side of Lotus, and same as on defense, we need to ask ourselves a few questions. So first of all, on Lotus on the attacker side, C site is your default site number 1 priority, A site number 2 priority, B site number 3 priority. Generally, the B site you only touch when nothing else is working for you. You can do some kind of a split farm and push test the enemies there. You know, try everything. Now, in the first 4 to 6 rounds, we should be doing fireman executes, primarily on C site and A site. Usually the best idea, if enemies don't have a Vise as a sentinel, is 3 times in a row doing a fireman execute on C, and then in a 4th round doing something different. You know, faking C, going A, fake A, go C, do a fireman push on A, whatever. So, in this specific match, enemies have only a chamber as a sentinel, we should be doing a fireman push onto the C site. Our friend Joshi, did immediately one mistake that you should never do in the first round as a sentinel player, and that is playing fucking alone from your team and wasting your teleport to take a fight in the A main area of the map. Especially against this team composition, there's no reason to do this at all, and this is one of the most retarded plays you can do in the lobbies below Immortal 3. Why? You have no idea what's going to happen on the opposite part of the map. You have no idea who are you playing with on the attacker's side. Even if your teammates were gods on defense, once the sides switch, only God knows who you're playing with at that moment of time and how well they're going to play on the attacker's side. Now, in this specific situation where we're playing a double sentinel setup, there is absolutely no reason for you to get a trademark. You get a trademark only if you're the solo sentinel in that specific match. So right now we should be getting classic pistol, light shield for headhunters. Vise should do a wall right here, and we should be starting the round right here. Done. Then round begins. We run in front of our teammates, jump spot the enemies because we don't have any utility to reveal the enemies in the C long. You know, you're not playing Cypher or something like that. And we get the info for our teammates. We pull out the headhunter and we start clearing this area of the map in this specific way, checking the boxy box, jump spotting the enemies, and voila, we're ready for the execute. You're executing the C site, dropping a teleport right there, and with this teleport we are scaling up with our allies. Your only job is to get into this position with a teleport, and now you just adapt to whatever the fuck is happening on your screen. You know, we are taking the fights with our teammates, clearing the backside. We can force the fight with the enemies if you feel confident. As long as you have a TP, you don't die before you use the teleport, everything is fine. And that is how we should play this first round. Take the spike, tell your teammates let's go do a farm and push on C site, and don't waste your time doing whatever the fuck we're doing here in the A main area of the map. Even worse, our teammates now want to go A. A push in the first round is not a bad idea. But the problem is, like, C site is the far easier in the lobbies below Immortal 3 to be contested. Your teammates cannot make that many mistakes when they're pushing the C site. And also, the post plants are cleaner and easier. Like in Ascendant, going A in the first round, absolute suicide. Absolute suicide. This type of shit, you should literally never do. Like literally never. There's not a single round. There's not a single time when you should be doing this. In ranked solo queue, in the lobbies below Immortal 3. Literally never. That's it. If you always want to take the space here with your team, wait a bit, ask for some recon abilities. Ask for your teammates to support. Wait for the jet to dash across the rubble. Or, at the end of the day, don't go for this type of a swing, but instead, like, let's do some kind of a double peek with our teammates. Clearing this angle, then clearing this position. You're still gonna have a teleport to scale up with your allies, to drop down and take the fights. What you did, you should never do in these lobbies, and essentially, like, you deserve to be dead.
Up in a smoke.
Okay. Even though you lost this first round in the way that you lost it, we should still go C in this second round. Anyways, we're playing an eco, half by round. We're gonna have the highest chances of winning this round if we actually go C. Why should we not go B? It's way too predictable for a round like this, especially when you lost the A push. And also, like, once again, you should be testing the enemies on the C site at least 3 times in the first 4 to 6 rounds. Because if they're C, defense is terrible. That's it. Like, for the rest of the match, you can just keep abusing that site and nothing else matters, to be honest. And we can just do different variations of a C execute. Some fakes, split through the B doors, fake B push, then go to C and stuff like that. Okay, listen. Once again, same as on a defender's side. You did a good job. You found a kill alone. Reset your teleport and regroup with your allies. Like, you need to think a bit more about the overall team play in this game, and you need to think a bit more about overall pressure that you make. You just killed enemy chamber in the A main area of the map. That seemed alone in the A main area of the map. Like, this kill alone is so much mental pressure onto the enemy team. Like, enemies on B and C need to make some kind of a move right now. You have 4 teammates grouped up in the B main area of the map. Let's just send it C, or let's send it B together. Enemies have 0 vision and 0 info how many of you guys are here and what you're doing in the A main area of the map. Your job is done. Literally, your job is done for this round. Everything that you do from this moment on in the A main area of the map is just a waste of time. Even if you get another kill, waste of time. Why? Because as your teammates are going B, all 4 of them can die, lose the spike, and you will be left in a 2v1, 1v1, 3v1, instead of just abusing this pressure and advantage that we got at this moment of time. One teammate down.
Excusez-moi.
One enemy down. Let's see what happens next. Okay, in this round, you got mega lucky. that your teammates actually played slowly and more passively. This is something that will usually never happen in Diamond, Ascendant, and Low Immortal lobbies. Most of the times, your teammates will just see blood in their eyes, and they're just going to be focused on kills and their objectives in front of them. You cannot make pre-assumptions, such as, I don't know what you even thought in this round, to be honest, that your teammates are going to do. But you cannot make a pre-assumption that your teammates are going to play well in the B main area of the map. Even right now, we should reset the round completely and tell our teammates to come towards the A set, and that's it. What do you think high elo is? Everything above Immortal 300 rank rating. 400. 400. One teammate down. Also, I don't know what you're doing here. You have the info that Fade is B, that Clove is B. Take more space in the spawn. Take more space in general. It's very good that these doors are closed right now. We don't need to worry about this. We have a flank trip to stop the enemy's flank. Right now, we should be playing with our Clove, taking more space, and that's it. Also, whenever enemies are giving you time to reload one bullet from the Outlaw, reload it. Reload of 2 bullets takes like 3.5 seconds. 1 bullet is only around a second. Like, I don't know why are we playing right now with only 1 bullet in the Outlaw. Because right now, keeping your location a secret is not a point. You know, enemies should expect that you're CT, that you're tower, that you're in the A main area of the map, that you're on the bomb site. I mean, they should be aware of everything. Anyways. One huge mistake here is like, I have no idea how we don't have a teleport with ourselves. I mean, you were making this mistake every round on a defender's side. But on an attacker side, it is unforgiving to make this type of mistakes. Because, like, okay, a lot of the times with Chamber, you will take the initial fight with the teleport, but you cannot just be leaving it back. Because now, if you reset the teleport, it has a 30-second timer again. And we need to wait another 30 seconds, and maybe we're not going to have that much time to use it again. Now, with Chamber and his teleport, like, what you kind of want to achieve every single round is you want to use it minimum 2 times every single round. Like, that is efficiency in utility usage of this agent. High efficiency. Like, if you're only using it once, there's probably a way to use it twice or 3 times, or I don't know, like... I don't know why you're playing only with one bullet here, like, I mean, we're 3v1. And anyways, I don't know why you're playing in the A main area of the map. Like, in the post plans, you should always play with the teammates that have the highest chances of dying. Vyze is safe. We have our flank covered with our trip. She is also covering the stairs. There's only one choke point through which enemies can go. And that is the tower. The thing is, Vyze can easily avoid this type of a fight. Stay hidden and do something. Clove doesn't have that many options if she decides to play exactly on the bomb site. Against the Fade reveal, Fade dogs and stuff like that.
I'm too far.
One enemy remaining. Last player standing. Thrifty.
This round could have been far less painful than it actually was. We actually could have won this round with much higher numbers and with far less effort. Now, once again, one rule that we use on Lotus is that whenever enemies on the defender side are eco, halberd, or bonus, you don't touch this area of the map ever. This doesn't exist for you. Ever. We do a 5-man push C, or a 5-man push A. Once again, a 5-man push on C is totally fine, considering our team composition and enemy's team composition. I mean, we have a Raze Nade, Boombot, Fade, Dogs, Reveal, Vice. Like, what else do you need to take the C set control? And enemies have what? Chamber Trip. Okay. Listen, if you're playing a secondary sentinel as a chamber, you should mainly be using your trips aggressively to clear the angles, to engage the enemies. In most executes and pushes, you don't need this trip anywhere if you already have a Vice wall. Right now, we should be doing a 5-man push onto the C site. Vice walls this, and we can use our trip to basically scout for the enemies in the waterfall, to scout for the enemies close, or we can save it for the post plant. Also, in this C-long area of the map, you're starting at the wrong part of this corridor. You always want to start on the right side, jump spotting the enemies first, and then deciding if you want to use the trip, if you want to use the teleport or not. The only time when you should do this type of a play, where you basically use the teleport and take this type of a fight, is when you know that enemies are fighting here, you know that you can take an easy kill, and maybe you know you got the outlaw or operator and you just want to go for this and get out with a kill. Or your teammates are always dying when they're doing this. Before you even have a chance to jump spot the enemies, put a TP there, okay? Let's go for a swing together with our teammates. Otherwise, we wasted the teleport completely, which is very fucking important and useful during the executes on the site. Also, in ranked solo queue, you really want to keep up the pacing, positioning, and distance as close as possible to your most aggressive teammates. Like, a lot of the times, this distance will cost you a lot. Like, you're letting this Vice do whatever the fuck she wants to do. She peeked so many angles on which she could have died alone without a single refrag potential. One of the main misconceptions... Holy shit. I need to dive under the table. Moment. My bad. One of the main misconceptions when it comes to the team play in Valorant is that team play means that you're simply playing around your teammates, starting with them somewhere, and that's it. For example, this is not a proper team play. Proper team play is when you can refrag your allies and fight with them on every single angle that they are approaching, on every single angle from which they are exposed, and you're fighting with teammates that have the highest chances of dying. That is a proper ranked team play. This here, yes, you started with your teammates. We're going C. Okay, fine. Not good enough. No, not good at all, actually. Spidey senses kicked in. Okay. Anyways. Wouldn't this round be 10 times easier if you just did a 5-man push on C? But enemies are playing an eco Halby round. You already know based on the first 2 rounds, Chamber is the A player, Fade is the C player, Clove is playing around the B site, and Neon and Jet are probably going to be switching the bomb sites. But just based on the info on the first 2 rounds, like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, the worst thing you can do in Valorant is like default when enemies are eco or Halby. Especially in the early rounds when you don't know if they're gonna push you behind or if they're gonna make some mistakes. And no wonder you have a negative win rate on the attacker's side.
Teleport's ready.
Sniff entry's ass on execute noted. But you don't need to sniff his ass, but, you know. It depends which area of the map you're executing. You know, like, for example, this C-long area of the map is very simple. We don't have 2 choke points, we have nothing, basically. Like, we can just stick to this Vice or whoever is in front of us and play a very good refrag game and very good double fights. When you're going onto the A side, well, that's a bit more complicated, you know, like, because most of the time you need to go through the tree area of the map and take the tree control because your teammates are not going to do that. And maybe you're not going to be able to play with your most aggressive teammate at that moment of time. Okay, this round, like, I guess it's going to be over, like, since... I mean, okay, let's talk about this round even more. You just got a kill on the enemy flank. But what do you think the next enemy move is going to be? I mean, if you kill an enemy that was going behind you, and after that kill, you got 0 contact with the enemies in the C main and B main areas of the map. The only logical explanation is that enemies are either anchoring their positions or they're rotating towards the, you know, wherever the fuck we killed an enemy. You need to ask yourself, what you really need to ask yourself more during the rounds is, if I do X, what is the most logical, or what type of logical Y response should I expect from the enemies? And what type of a Z solution I should apply in that round. For example, here, we killed one guy. It's an anti-eco round. Anti-eco round. So, what do we do after this kill? Hey guys, let's regroup C main, or even A main, it doesn't fucking matter. And let's reset the round completely and do a 5-man execute like a normal human beings. Generally speaking, whenever you're defaulting on the attacker's side, whenever you find some numbers advantage or picks, or you trade some numbers with the enemies, like let's say you do some kind of, I don't know, 3-1-1 default. Your teammate in B main dies, one teammate here dies, but we kill 2 enemies as well. What do? Reset the round. In that 3v3 scenario, we regroup all 3 teammates either onto the C main area of the map or A main area of the map. And we do the most basic execute once again. Why? There is no fucking way that there's gonna be 3 enemies on the C side and 3 enemies on the A side. And also, once again, your teammates in these areas of the map, they cannot make that many mistakes as much as they can make on a bomb site such as B site, or in an area of the map such as mid area of the map. Like, the more you simplify your gameplay in ranked solo queue, the more success you're gonna find overall. When there is no reason to complicate anything, obviously. Like, there's rounds to complicate as well. Like, no worries. Like, you'll have time. What the fuck was that reveal? Aha, that's our fade. I was like, what's that? I love this a lot. This was amazing, actually. Like, this is something I don't see even in Immortal players' gameplay. We have 40 seconds to plant the spike. We know that one enemy is close in the spawn, in the city, and we know that one enemy is in the, or 2 enemies are in the A link. He didn't go for an immediate spike plant. We don't need... Planting the spike is always your last priority in ranked solo queue. Always. The only time you should plant the spike and force yourself to plant the spike is when there's nothing happening on the map, like enemies are not even close to you. There's no utility that can fuck you up. And also, when basically like you're in some kind of a huge disadvantage. I mean, if you're 2v5, planting the spike as soon as possible and trying to win based on the timer is probably one of our only win conditions. But here, we are 5v3, 40 seconds to plant the spike. You don't need to plant it. We can fake the plant, see what response enemies are gonna make, and plant the spike only when we finish all of the gunfights and when there's nothing else to do except plant the spike. Very good. This is, as I said, like, there's a lot of things in your gameplay that are actually very fucking good for an Ascendant 1 player. But then there's like, you know, like, as I said, like, you do a good play, and then immediately after a good play, a bad play. Like, we need to fix those bad plays as soon as possible. But a good thing is, like, usually you do a good play first, and then a bad play. So, you know, your secondary decisions and third decisions is what you should be asking yourself about more.
30 seconds left. One enemy
I don't know how nobody... I mean, that's our Vice flash, to be honest. Like,
remaining.
okay, good round. Good finish, at least. Could have been better. Oh, what the fuck? Okay, okay. Come closer. Listen here. Come closer. Feel free. Closer. 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 It's okay. That's good. That's good. That's better. Listen here. So. Listen. On Lotus. Don't be a monkey. You know, don't be mentally disabled. Get back a bit. Try to abuse the C site in the early, like, rounds. In ranked solo queue, in the lobbies between Iron 1 and Immortal 2, players usually have terrible C site holds. Like, they always think that one player can defend the site. Even if that player is a sentinel, it's mega fucking hard. Mega fucking hard. And a lot of times, what those sentinels, you know, what type of mistake they're gonna do? They're gonna force the fights. They will force themselves to get a kill, and then if they don't get it, then you just enter the site for free. Numbers advantage and a site for free. In your hands. The only times when the C-set execute is really hard is if the enemies have a Vice. You know, then you need to reset the executes. Like, basically you need to go for a double execute or a one fake, one real, stuff like that. We need to mix it up. Sometimes, of course, like, I mean, if you have aggressive duelists that want to go in, 3 players can still go into the site, even without, you know, canceling the executes.
You want to play? Let's play.
Try in ranked solo queue. In the first 4 to 6 rounds, to primarily play with your team. Just first 4 rounds. First 4 rounds. Okay? Then after the 4th round, ask yourself, is this working? Was the problem in our executes? Was the problem in our post plans? What is the problem in our team play? Is team play even possible? And then start lurking, flanking, and trying to get... Like, I don't know. What are you trying to do right now? Like, the only info that you have is that Chamber likes to fight aggressively in the aim and area of the map. And that's literally the only info that you have from the first 3 rounds. Nothing else. Who are you fighting right now? I mean, we know, you know, what's happening based on the minimap, but I'm not speaking about that. Like, this is how I coach on Lotus everyone, and basically, regardless of this replay system shit. Play, you know, don't go for these ego fights. Play on the info that you have based on the map that you're playing, based on the team compositions, you know? And abuse these basic rules early on. And then from the 5th round, team play is not possible. Okay, let's try to find some solo picks. Let's try to maybe lurk, flank a bit, find some different opening, get the Odin, get the operator, delete the enemies from the map. Like, sure, fine, whatever. The problem is, it's not that I don't trust you. I don't trust what the fuck the Raze, Clove, Fade, and your Vice are gonna do. It is still way too early to tell if they are good or bad type of teammates on the attacker's side. And also, when your 5-man executes are working in ranked solo queue, enemies are just fucked. Literally fucked. Like, if you don't have a response for a 5-man push, you'll be playing retakes. A lot of the retakes. And if your retakes are also not good, the match is over, basically. Okay. Same situation from the previous rounds. We got a pick. We are 5v4. What do we do? You also made the pressure in the C main area of the map. Rotate. Play with your teammates. Fuck it. Like, the whole point of this type of a start, where you default, where you try to find the picks, is to find a fucking pick. You know? That is the main objective of this type of a start of the round. We found a pick. Now enemies are fucked. They will consistently be in some kind of a disadvantage. 5v4, 5v2, 5v1, 5v3. And there's no way that 4 enemies right now are C or A. Once again, I need to pretend I don't see the map, but whatever. These are very, very common mistakes of Sentinel players in the lobbies between Ascendant 1 and Immortal 2. Like, you behave towards your teammates like they are good, you know?
My ult is ready.
The problem is, like, they're still stuck in the same area of the map. And even though you got this kill, I still don't know what the fuck is gonna happen. This is exactly the problem. Exactly the problem of your playstyle. Like, the problem in ranked solo queue is, if you make a good play somewhere, and your teammates immediately make a bad play afterwards, your good play doesn't matter. We got 2 kills. We lost 2 teammates. Nothing happened. That's why it's better to simplify your gameplay, instead of just searching for the kills or solo kills consistently. I'm yelling at my team to rotate at the moment. You shouldn't be yelling at your teammates, first of all. Second of all, you shouldn't be yelling that you should rotate. You should go back from C towards A side and just fight with them. We could have refragged our Fade, Vise, end up in a 5v2, 5v1, 4v2, 4v1 post plant, and that's it. You're gambling too much on what your allies are gonna do.
Fun. My turn.
Still, the match can be... This can go into a 2-2, right? Yep. Oh. So, basically, from a 5v3, we ended up in a 2v2 scenario. We know that enemy jet is behind us, and we know that Neon is in the B-main. To be honest, in this type of a scenario, the best idea is just keep the CT control, tell the Clove to plant the spike for the CT, and you try to surprise this Neon on some timing and just get her out of the server. Okay. I don't know why you played in this angle, for an example. Why did you play so far away from this choke point? I mean, like, Neon can go through spawn and through the link as well. Like, basically right now you should have been here. And based on the sound and where you think the Neon is going, bop, 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 you know? We can kill that guy. I mean, there's no way that he goes from upper and does this, like, you know. And even if you do, you're gonna hear him, you know, hear his running and footsteps, like. I don't know why did you play so here, basically. Wrap waterfall, timing. You're gonna have even better timing if you do this, like. No! I mean, while the guy is checking this angle, already a kill for you. Thanks God that he did this. But this was just mega lucky. This was a complete 50-50 gamble, like, where he's gonna go. In this type of situations, it's always better to play to the choke point so that you don't lose that timing to surprise the enemies.
One enemy
That one's
remaining.
dead.
Okay, now your only objective is connect with the Clove as soon as possible and just play a clean 2v1. Right now, even with the knife out, you should be running towards the C site, backside of the C, and that's it. Okay. We'll see how this goes. Like, I don't know what to say. Still, no reason to flank, lurk, do solo plays. I mean, like, enemies seem like shit on a defender side. They also have a shit team composition to fight for any space. Like, they have 0 flashes. They have 1 stun from the Neons and C's from the Fade. Like, I don't know. All of the ability is very easy to, you know, dodge and break. I don't know, like, well, let's see. Let's see how this is gonna go. What are we doing exactly here? Oh, what is this peak, man? Listen, like, if you're peeking the enemies in the... Here. Like, you should all... Alone, first. You should always peek this angle with a pre-assumption that someone is gonna play this. Always. So when you're scaling up here, you stop here. It needs to be a jiggle peek. And you need to be ready to fire this shot with the dead zone peek. You cannot do this. Like, this is a suicide.
One less.
Once again, we got a bit lucky because enemy chamber was also not ready for this fight. Yes, I apologize, you're right. The enemy Fade in the previous round did the eye and reveal. My mistake, I forgot about that. It was okay that you started the round a bit slower. But peeking this angle with a shift peek, ADS shift peek, suicide. Like, enemies see you much faster than you see them. And if this guy has the op, you're just dead. Like, he needs to have a reaction time of a Grandma Josephine. The reaction time of a Joe Biden, bro. To miss that shot. Wake up, Joe Biden. Wake up. For example, this trip and wall setup is good when you're lurking somewhere. Like, that is what you should be doing as a secondary sentinel. You know? Like, for example, if you're lurking A, Y should always do the wall, either for A main or C main. And you should be doing the trip either for the B main, or using it as an aggressive trip if you're doing a 5-man execute somewhere. Okay? Right now, we should be preparing ourselves, like, for the post plant. I mean, you kill this guy. First of all, I don't like how you went here with 0 fucks given. I don't know, how do you know that no one else right now is on the C site? I don't know, you don't know, but the replay knows. So don't, you know, don't behave like a Nostradamus. We should have reset this teleport as soon as you killed the enemy chamber. Okay, we can take his op, but first we need to clear this angle. We need to jump spot this area of the map. We can maybe take more space for our team with a Guardian. You know? Try to shift into the bomb site, wait for our teammates, and then we can go for the op. By that time, teleport is gonna be resetted. We can put it for the aim and area of the map there. We can go back onto our default post-plant position on the C site of Lotus. We wait for the enemies. Bop. Delete one guy. Play a refrag game with your teammates. That's it. Listen, you play the post plans based on how your teammates are playing the post plans. Like, if your teammates are aggro, play aggro with them. You don't need to risk your life too much. You know, you shouldn't be going to a, you know, war zone for no reason. But be there to reflect these guys. You know, be close to Clove, be ready behind the wall to go for a jiggle pick and maybe get a kill. Get on top of the site so you can play with a fade, maybe. I don't know, you know, like... But just selling these guys for nothing is not a good play, ever. And anyways, like, especially if your teammates want to play a passive post plant, you know, here. This spot is always a good play. Especially with the teleport there. Enemies are coming through waterfall. Easy kill. Backside. Easy kill. Easy kill. Enemies are fighting your teammates from the spawn here. And your teammates are committed to the fight. Just with one footstep to the right. Easy kill. This angle generally is kind of like whatever. I mean, with the AWP you should hit this shot. You have some mechanical problems like left and right, and we'll talk about your mechanical problems like privately, and I'm gonna give you some aim training for that. It really like I don't like speaking about mechanics during VOD reviews because there's aim training for everything. There's training for this, training for that. Like it's the same fucking story, you know, 24/7. I stopped speaking about that like 3 years ago. But here, at this moment of time, you should not even be on this position. That's the problem. And especially not with a teleport. Why? Why do I need to force this 50-50 fight? Outlaw on the attacker's side. Okay, I can respect that. I can respect that. Not bad. If 3 or more enemies don't have the money for the heavy shield in the next round, sure, you can do this, especially with the chamber. You get the outlaw, you get the shorty, 8 headhunters. What else do you need? Absolutely nothing. But you should get the shorty with this combo. Listen, if your teammates are not waiting for the enemy's reveals and enemy's utility, you cannot let your Vise peek this angle like a monkey. Like, even if you told this Vise, hey man, let's dodge the enemy's recon abilities. If you see him do this, mission abortimus, we try to play with this guy. We'll destroy the reveal later. That's also one very good tip that I need to give you. Communication and callouts. Whenever you give a callout in ranked solo queue, always, you're never assuming that your teammates will listen to the callout or listen immediately. A lot of times you will have to repeat your callout 2 or 3 times. Also, a lot of times your teammates are not going to listen to you. So whenever you give some kind of a call out to your teammates, spend minimum 3 to 5 seconds analyzing on the minimap if your teammates are actually listening to what the fuck you said, before you tunnel vision on whatever play you wanted to do. I don't know, man, like, this default thing can cost us a lot. It can cost us a lot, this match, to be honest. Like, I don't like it. For an Ascendant lobby, especially when you have enemies that are so bad, to be honest. Like, I don't see a reason to play like this. What rank is this VOD? Ascendant 1. Plus, enemies are not fighting for A main, enemies are not fighting for C main, enemies are not fighting for B main. What? But maybe he knows something I don't know, bro. He doesn't know. Holy shit, that timing was insane, bro. When you're rotating from position 1 to position 2, your crosshair should always be placed on the most probable angle from which your anal cavity is exposed to the enemy team and can be ripped apart in a gangbang. So, without sexualizing things forward, your crosshair right now, yes, should be placed towards the C-long. Why? Your raise is holding B main, your teammates push the ace A main, your crosshair should be left. And this is the rule that you keep in any area of the map, in any fucking situation. Even if you're running with a knife out, it's okay. Like, there's a lot of RNG shit that can happen in Valorant for you. For an example, you're rotating like this. Rotating. You're doing this. You accidentally see the tip of a gun from a guy that is wrapping you around, that is peeking at that moment of time. You pretend like you didn't see it. You know, maybe you walked like this. Teleport here. Get him out of the server. You got the info for free. The guy peeks you. You're playing chamber. Insta headhunter out. We can fight. But we give it to enemy team our anal cavity. You don't see shit. We don't see shit.
Enemy.
Okay. Generally speaking, in every single situation, in every single scenario, one rule that you follow is your crosshair should always be played on the most probable angle from which enemies can kill you at that moment of time. Or where enemies can be at that moment of time. That's it. Oh, bro. And are we gonna stop this? Never, huh? Outlaw again? Huh? Ha! I mean... I don't know the enemy's economy. You know, you never press the tab during this match, so... I don't really know. Like... The thing is, you have 7,200 credits. You're winning 11-7. You don't need to get... You don't need to play your ultimate, outlaw, and headhunters. You can go for maybe a judge, heavy shield, ultimate, and headhunters. Amazing. Amazing. We have a weapon for every fucking scenario, every fucking fight that can happen on this godforsaken map. But, you know, don't go for these clips like Horkus, like that's just bullshit, you know, like double op, double snipe, fuck that shit, bro. Like, you should be getting the kills with this sniper and being a versatile player that can play any scenario, like, you know? You're not Radiant, you're not TikToker yet. Maybe you are, but we're trying to get on that level. If his teammates don't clear this fucking box, I'm ending it all. Thank you, God. Once again. If we don't go back after we fire a shot and teleport, I'm ending it all. What the fuck are these guys doing, bro? Okay, go back. Done! Good job! You know, right now you're to yourself. Good job, man. You know? And you're just going, like, resetting the teleporting away. I mean, don't teleport away because then you're gonna give the info to the Fade that you teleported. Take the TP, walk back towards your teammates. You applied enormous amount of pressure. Enemy's Fade rotation is gonna be slowed down a bit. Enemies might think that you're gonna go through the A main, through the B main, through God knows where.
Oh, I'm enjoying this.
This is a mistake. Why are you giving the enemies info what you're doing? Like, especially when you make this type of solo kills and you don't need to teleport away. Walk away. Reset the teleport and walk away. If you already want to go towards your teammates. You don't want to tell them, hey guys, I went back. You know, I'm not going to go through A main. I'm not going to flank. I'm not going to lurk. Because they don't know. And we should leave them in that position where they don't know. Generally speaking, that's another thing, you know. In Valorant ranked solo queue, Valorant in generally, the more you keep your location a secret, it's better for everyone. You, yourself, your team, and very bad for the enemy team.
They found my trap.
That was criminal. But maybe Neon would not have done this if she didn't hear the teleport, you know. Maybe she would not have aggressed you this fast.
Player stand.
We don't lose the round like this, huh?
Good.
Hey, I believe you, man. I'm a believer. Hey, baby, 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 baby. Oh, baby, oh. And this is what I'm telling you, you know, actually what I was talking about on a defender side specifically. In this match, you lost 6 rounds with a huge numbers advantage. Like, there were 6 rounds where you were 5v3, 4v2, 3v1. I don't know, like stuff like that. 6 rounds. But why did you lose them? In every round you died alone somewhere and you didn't really prioritize team play in any way or capacity. Like you were always relying on your allies to close out these rounds. For God's sake, like your team has lost a 4v1 on a defender's side. And you should always expect that in ranked solo queue. Only in Radiant lobbies and high elo lobbies, like Immortal 3, 300, 400 rank rating and above, sometimes you need to sacrifice yourself for the greater good. Sometimes you need to force stupid fights. Sometimes you need to play like an iron player and just take that 50-50. In these lobbies, a lot of times you don't need to do that. A lot. Huh? What happened here? DC, huh? Okay. That's fucked up. Try not to DC when the match is getting closed. Very important tip. You know, like sue your ISP. No, actually. If you're getting DCs in Valorant and high ping, Exit Leg can help you with that. Use my link in the description down below. Problems fixed. Exit Leg, you can help. You can pay me later.
You want to play? Let's play.
I don't know really what happened in the last 2 rounds because he just scrolled through them. But I can see once again that we started losing the match a bit. You know, enemies won 4 rounds in a row. No, actually 3 rounds in a row. But like as soon as you win 3 rounds in a row, trying to abuse one playstyle. Okay, in ranked solo queue it is fine. Trying to lose... it is fine losing 3 rounds in a row. It is fine losing 3 rounds in a row if you're testing some strategy, testing some playstyle, and you're just slightly adapting it. But if that playstyle, if that strategy is not working even in the 3rd round, in 4th round, we need to make some significant change. In our playstyle, in our like way that we play the game, like how we position ourselves, etc, etc. So if you already defaulted 3 rounds in a row, in the 4th round, let's try a 5-man push somewhere. Maybe that is the solution. And vice versa as well. 3 times in a row, 5-man execute is not working for you. In the 4th round, let's try to change something. Let's adapt. You know, for example, right now, I would actually play with my teammates in B main. There's 3 of my allies there. They're probably gonna get in contact with someone on the B side. Like, there's no fucking way they don't fight someone. And we can just leave the Fate to lurk, flank, and do whatever the fuck she wants to do. Well, that was fast. Many perks of playing Chamber. Ah, you tried B split. That is the last thing that you try on this map. Literally the last thing. Like, if you don't try a proper 5-man push on C at least 2 times, and a proper 5-man push on A at least 2 times, fuck the B side. Literally fuck it. Especially the B split. And if you're doing a B split, how do we have 2 teammates aim in? Whenever you're doing a B split, 1 or 2 players should be going through the B main area of the map, and 3 or 4 players should be going through the A main. 4 or 3. With the spike. It's harder fighting for this area of the map than this area of the map.
That's a good spot.
And generally speaking, like, B set is the last thing you touch on this map. If everything is really not working at all, then okay, let's touch it. Good timing to push out, not bad. I don't know why did you place your teleport here.
Back like I never left.
One enemy remaining.
Same as on the defender side, I think that you're trusting these random solo queue teammates too much. Too much, like. I mean, I told you that with your stats, with your performance, your win rate can be 10 times higher. Like, 10 times higher. Okay, not 10 times, but 10% higher, which is 5% in your example. Okay, so what do we do now? Chamber cannot be... we reset the trip. Because it's useless. We don't need it there anymore. We should have reset the teleport long time ago. I'm not even gonna speak about that. And now, you just play with a teammate that is most aggressive teammate with the highest chance of dying. The worst thing we can do in this 3v1 is we all hold angles individually. One guy fights here, one guy fights here, one guy fights here, one guy fights here. Instead of that, fuck half of this map control and let's just fight into 2 areas. Or let's just all regroup towards the B main and just hold the same angle from the B main area of the map. If your teammates don't want to cooperate, just stick to the anal cavity of your teammate that you think has the highest chances of dying at that moment of time. Are you doing tracker reviews? Yes, on my Discord server. I do them privately. Oh, okay. Sheesh. Sheesh. Okay. If you're doing this play, like lurking through the B main area of the map, good placement of your trip. Okay, very good trip for the A main area of the map. Generally speaking, your trips on the attack are fine. Just when you're doing 5-man executes, you don't need to have a trip, you know, for some of these positions. But if you're doing this solo, always put your teleport at the start of the round, right here. But literally always. You don't know who the fuck you're gonna fight. And every single time when you die with Chamber and you didn't use your teleport to take a fight with the enemies, you could have done something better. If you're already lurking here, anyways, this TP is gonna be enough to check this angle, these off angles, and then it's gonna disappear. You know, it's fine, it's okay. Like, we can live with that. You cannot place it after the round starts because obviously enemies can hear it and they can expect your push or play, whatever. Angle clearing left the game. How do you going through this area of the map so carelessly? I mean, when you're lurking through the B-man or going through the B-man alone in general, but we need to, you know, check this angle. Check all of these off angles here. Check behind the box. Check the boxy box. Like, all of these angles should be checked. How do you know that no one is there?
C.
Criminal! Okay, my best advice when it comes to overtimes is the following. The fourth overtime, you never play. You always draw the match. The first overtime, on both attack and defense, you're trying to do what most commonly worked on the attackers or defender side in the regular part of the match. Like, you just gamble on the information that you already have. And that's it. So, for an example, on a defender side, we have a Vice setup on C. Our teammates on A were pretty weak during this match. So we can start on the B side. Play fast rotations between B, A, and C. We can destroy the doors. Peek into the A main. Have some fast rotation teleport towards the C set and tower, and that's it. But to be honest, like in this round, I would actually play with my Clove. The reason is she is the only one doing some aggressive play. We don't really know if enemies are going to go A, B, C, or D in this round. And if you already have a teammate that is doing some aggro play that might fail, or that might result in a 5v4 or 4v5 numbers disadvantage, play with that guy.
That works.
Now, the Clove abandoned the mission. We abandoned the mission as well. Let's destroy the doors and let's keep the aim in control. We have a C teleport, okay? Listen, I already talked about this. When you're doing this play, you need, if you're doing it alone, you need to put your trademark here. You just need to do that. Like, how are we gonna open these doors and fight the enemies right now? We were so fucking lucky, to be honest. Like, Neon was literally like peeking that angle. Like, that was mega luck maxing, bro. Luck maxing. Let's kill the Fade. Let's... I don't know, like, you know, when you're holding some of these angles to play with your teammates or to fuck up the enemies, like, you're not holding them in a proper way where you can immediately support your teammates or take a frag or something like that. I mean, like, look at this. Like, you have a full Vice setup for the C site, and you're playing here. Why? Isn't it more logical if you're just playing closer to the wall and just wait for that shit to activate and just delete the enemies? Or playing it here, where you can actually just instantly do this. Or do, like, why are we so far away to peek the enemies and to support this Vice?
Teleport's ready. I'm a good shot.
Okay. Okay. Once again, you have a moment, you have a timing to use your teleport to take a fight, and you don't use it like as per usual. Like, I guess in your gameplay, teleport is an option in the middle of a round, not a necessity. On the attacker side, same as on defense, like, you know. Same as on defense. We should be doing what... Are we doing a 5-man push on A? Holy shit.
Chance, mes amis.
Shit. We don't need a trip for the B main. It's better if you use that trip to pressure the enemy somewhere. In the post plant or whatever. I have no fucking idea. I have no fucking idea what you did here, to be honest. Like, this is just a waste of a teleport. I don't know a single scenario or a round where this is good. You have 5 teams pushing this area of the map. Enemies have shit team composition to take aim and area, and they never fought for the aim and area of the map. Let your teammates speak first, be there to refrag them, and that's it. Like, what the fuck? We have a flash, we have a fade dog, reveal. Knife out, fast peek for info. Please, in Ascendant 1 lobby, don't do a knife out, fast peek for info. Listen, whenever you get behind the rubble, your immediate decision should always be to jump spot the enemies. Like, as soon as you get here, your instant reaction should be this. Just so that your imbecile teammates don't take the fight, God knows what type of a fucking fight, in this area of the map without proper crosshair placement and peek. Oh! What the fuck was that, bro? This is the first time in maybe 14 rounds that we picked up a teleport. We're learning. I don't know why, you know, whenever your team gets stuck in this main area of the map, open the doors and try to make something happen. You know, if you take the tree control, that is already a lot of pressure onto the enemy team, we can do something. But just getting stuck like this, we're not gonna have fun. Anyways, like, it was a 50-50 if they're gonna do a A push S5 or C push S5 and they do the A push S5. At least it's a 5-man push, you know. 5-man execute. Okay, good. Okay. Now we just go B or A or C. It doesn't matter where the fuck we go. We should just go together as 5 and close out this round. Right? Ah, like, easy. Easy. Okay, so in the first overtime, enemies push C. So in the second overtime, I would expect the A push. We were playing on A. Very good. Oh, no, not this setup. Not this setup, bro. Okay, better. In overtimes also, don't be afraid to pick up the operator. It's fine. If you think you can get a kill, it's fine. You can play a glass cannon. That was very unlucky. Not bad, to be honest. Like, literally, it's okay. It's okay. It's a good play that didn't work. It's okay. It's fine. At least we tried to do something out of the box, something different. Like, the whole defender side was complete bonkers, like, in the regular part of the match. It's okay. It's fine.
That's a good spot.
Why not the 5-man push onto C, maybe? Well, I don't know, like, forcing the B set in this trial and maps, Haven and Lotus. It's always 50-50. Like, in the post plans, like, you cannot support your teammates everywhere. Your teammates can make enormous amount of mistakes that you cannot compensate. Like, not the best idea ever. Especially not in overtime. don't use a teleport if you don't need to use it, like, if you're not fighting the enemies. And a very good decision making from your teammates. Like, this should have been your decision. We killed the guy on C. Let's just go C. We know that one enemy is B. Probably 2 enemies are A. And there can maximum be 1 more guy on C. Let's go C. Now, God help us. Even in this 1v3 against the Fade, I have absolutely no idea what your teammates are gonna do. One down. Actually, not bad. Actually, not bad. We ended up from a 5v4 to only 2 versus 4. Pretty good for a Ascendant lobby.
Too slow.
Now 2v3. Now 2v2. But this could have been a fucking 5v3 or 5v4 post plant, where we don't need to pull this round out of our anal cavity. And even now, I mean, the spike is not planted for you, and you're risking too much by doing this type of plays.
My ult is available.
Last player standing.
Almost. A bit unlucky there, but it's not unlucky because I don't know. When are we gonna start playing with our teammates when we make an advantage? The problem is, like, you don't have any checklist in your brain. You know, like you do this, the round is over. You do that, round is over. Like, it's like you're constantly under some kind of a pressure to make the plays. If you just make one play, one good play, and make an advantage, you don't need to force yourself to consistently be, you know, unpredictable or go for this, go for that. Like, at some point, it's totally fine if you just boil down your gameplay just to bare minimum, which is a refray game and playing with your teammates. And just fighting with them whatever the fuck they want to fight at that moment of time. But okay. When it comes to main agents, I think Chamber is fine for you. Not bad. Like, it's fine. When it comes to everything else, we covered pretty much everything. Especially on the defender side of this VOD review. When it comes to some training and stuff like that, listen, man. Like, I'm gonna watch this VOD one more time alone, and I'm gonna try to find something for you. I don't know. I really don't know, like, what I would exactly recommend you right now. But I'll do my best to give you some kind of a training for at least awareness. You know, you tracking down the enemies and your teammates a bit more and being a bit more focused on that problem. And when it comes to mechanical skill, once I'm just gonna give you some kind of an aim training. You'll be doing it for like 2 months and then dropping it and moving on to something else. But overall, the most negative points in this VOD you got for undisciplined gameplay and for lack of team play. Like, undisciplined gameplay costed you 7 fucking rounds in this match. 7 rounds where you were in an advantage. 7 rounds where your teammates lost the round, because you were not there to close it out. You're not lacking solo impact in terms of initial fights, in terms of initial kills. You're lacking the solo impact in actually closing out your matches and your games. And this is the perfect example of why at least 50% of players are stuck in ranked solo queue. You getting the kills means nothing if you're not closing out these rounds yourself. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. If you want to get a VOD review, join my Discord server. I'm organizing, you know, like, giveaways. You can get a tier 3 sub on Discord as well. I get the playbook. The playbook is amazing, bro. You should definitely watch the playbook as well, because your setups were kinda iffy on both attack and defense for Chamber. And yeah, I'll see you in the next VOD review. Thank you a lot.